timer for 4 minutes.
4 minutes, starting now.
What's up, guys? Hello, good morning. Here we are again doing a reset. You guys know my love for resets, but I did not anticipate to do one so quickly after like New Year's, because that's a huge reset for me. Like that's where I really take a look at my life very intentionally and very intentionally set my like goals and habits and create a plan. And that's all good and dandy, okay? That's worked for me. I have committed to and like ticked off every single one of my goals that I had in 2024. So that's the mindset that I, started this year with, okay? The problem is this girl is not thriving, okay? Mostly my like nervous system. I feel like I'm doing a lot better now, like mentally and emotionally. I've been going through grief. If you don't know what's happening in my life, if you're new here, it's been like 6 months now, so I'm way better. My nervous system though is not, okay? My nervous system is like, girly pop, if you don't slow down, I will shut this down, okay? And I feel like I just started pushing myself like way too much because again, I had the mentality and I'm used to being able to, work on all these goals and habits as well as, all the daily work things I need to do anyway. And that's the speed I'm used to going through life, Now I'm like literally stressed all the time, okay? It's like a constant loop of like me feeling like I need to chase my to-do list and like never being able to catch up. And even if I do like tick off every single thing, I'm still stressed because I'm like, tomorrow I need to start again. And then I start to procrastinate and then I get more stressed and then I procrastinate more and then I'm in this loop. My priorities need to change. And the thing is, I'm like happy with the goals and habits I set for myself for the year. I think I just didn't anticipate that I wouldn't be able to like start working on them straight away. I don't need to push myself like this. And I got the realization of like, if I change my priority to just taking care of myself right now and like calming down my nervous system and just focusing on that, apart from obviously the usual day-to-day things I need to do that we all need to do, then at some point I will feel better and I will naturally want to start working more on the goals or whatever I decide to do. But this like pushing myself constantly to do something that right now is not aligned with how I feel and like just stressing myself more and more is not working and will not even get me the results that are the reason why I'm even doing this in the first place. You know what I mean? So that is the plan for today. We're gonna do my usual reset things just to feel like life is steady and like things are clear and I'm organized. We'll do some reflecting and then the main part is going to be just switching my priorities for now. We'll go over at my desk and I'll show you the plan for this reset and everything I want to do and focus on, and we'll get started. And I'm so excited. I feel like this is so necessary and I've been wanting to do it for so long. Alrighty guys, so this is my life reset. I made it on Milanote and I'll kind of be updating it as we go throughout this vlog as I'm doing all the things that I set out to do. But I feel like Milanote is the best tool to organize your creative projects. I love doing things like vision boards in here, any like creative work projects. For me personally, even projects like this where I feel like things are kind of jumbled up and I have so many thoughts and things I want to do and visions, and I just want to put this mess somewhere in a very like organized, clear, very visual way. So that's why I chose to do this on Milanote, and you can actually sign up to Milanote for free. So I'll have a link to that down below if you're interested. They are sponsoring this video, but I love it. I've been using it for years. So let's just do a very quick breakdown and then we'll start adding to this board and basically get started with everything. So I've got a column with to-dos for this project, for this life reset. I already did the cleanup, so cross that off. I've got word of the season, which is calm. That's kind of the vibe. The next column is main objective. This is where I'll be doing the prioritizing, changing my priorities. We've got journaling prompts. So this is a document with all the journaling prompts to help me reflect. Then we've got two really exciting boards. The first one is astrology reading. I got an astrology reading fairly recently and I want to put everything that she said in here and like add photos and just make it very like visual so I can then later on look back and see if like things actually came true. I've got my meal plan board because I've been ordering so much food and just like wasting so much money. I feel like those are not usually the healthiest options. So I feel like this board is an amazing way to like plan this out and have it be very inspiring, but also very actionable. So I've got a lot of photos in here, a list of like breakfast options. I've got documents where I can put in the recipes. You can put like actual links into Milanote and it looks very visually appealing. So this like raspberry chia pudding, I can just click on it, takes me directly to the recipe. I feel like this board is gonna be something I use every single day just to kind of figure out what I wanna eat. And I feel like that will help me be excited about the meals that I'm making and just eat healthier. We've got the to-dos for my digital declutter. These are the things I usually like to do to just kind of clear things up, get very organized. This one is very important. It's just gonna be a to-do list of my overdue to-dos. Everything I've been procrastinating on that's been like in the back of my mind stressing me out, I wanna write it all in here and then basically put it into this weekly plan that I made and then start ticking these off and prioritize that. And then we've got very kind of visual, almost like mood board for this life reset. So a lot of time by myself, very calm, intentional. That's the vibe. Another thing that I want to do that's in this to do is continue with my home makeover. And I feel like that might be the best way to show you kind of how you can organize your creative tasks with Milanote and just show you my plan for my home, because I feel like it's really cute. So this is my home makeover board. I wanted it to be very clear and very aesthetically pleasing so I can straight away see the vibe I'm going for and the pieces I want to get. I'm going for lots of wood and a very calming color palette. So I added that in and then I created different boards to further plan this out. So I feel like this is a great representation of how you can use Milanote's features to fully map out a creative project. So you can take all of your messy thoughts and ideas and put them all in one place in a very organized and visual way. So for example, I've got a to buy list right here, so I can just cross things off. I can include links. I've got a cost breakdown board, which I will obviously be adding to. I've got a bedding board to further showcase the bedding I want and include links to different bedding sites that I like. Same for artwork. I've linked specific ones. I've also linked my Pinterest board. You can add really cute writing or drawing. I also have a lamps board, again, same thing, and then more links to random little things that I want to get. And I also like to include these little notes to further explain the project, and you can also very easily share your project with other people and kind of work on it together. So whenever you start a new board, let's say I want to start one right here, you can start from scratch. You can add another board. You can add to-do lists. You can add links, notes, comments, columns, tables, photos, even like maps. Like there's so many things you can do, but they also have a bunch of templates you can choose from that are organized in a really nice way so you can easily find what you're looking for. And it's a really nice way to help you get started. So I'm gonna link Milanote down below and you can get started for free, which is amazing. So check that out. Okay, I'm gonna get started with the journaling prompts so I can like take some time to reflect and look back, and that will help us to then fill in this main objective and like see what the vibe and the plan is. Alrighty, journaling prompts are done, and this is always my favorite part. So these are the questions I used. Happiest memory of the last 2 months. Which milestones have I reached, big or small? What have I learned? What am I grateful for about this season of my life? So obviously these are all about reflecting on the past so I can see where I'm at, what's working, what's not. And then we've got a few for kind of my intention for the future. So what am I looking forward to? One thing I really want to change, commitments I want to make, and how can I be more of my favorite self? So this was kind of honestly as expected. I feel like I already kind of knew pretty well what I was not happy with and kind of what I want this season to be about and what I want to prioritize moving forward, since what I've been doing hasn't been working. And it's basically just to free up time and space and room for myself to just be present and do kind of more mindful things. I feel like the question that makes this the most clear is, how can I be more of my favorite self? Because it doesn't have this pressure of my best self, my highest self. It's just like my favorite self. Like, when do I feel like my favorite self? I feel like just that like rephrasing is so helpful. So I wrote down that I'm more of my favorite self when I have the space and allow myself to just be. And then I'm also my favorite self when I'm making room and time for my loved ones, and then having a work schedule that is not stressful and that limits like procrastination and again stress. So I then like map that out in the commitments that I want to make myself question. So this is what we're going to turn into my new like priority list basically. So what I wrote here is saying no more often, like being more conscious of my schedule, and then going outside for a walk daily. This just helps me to clear my head. Obviously, it's good for us. And then this is something I want to add into my life that I have not been doing at all, and it's a really simple guided meditation. I think I'm going to try Headspace or just find some on YouTube, but I want it to be like 5 to 10 minutes, really easy, like hold my cup of tea and just listen and follow along. That seems way less intimidating than me actually trying to like meditate by myself, and I don't want to put anything on this commitment list that is stressing me out. Then daily journaling to check in. I do this on most days, but I really notice a difference when I don't do it. Also no phone during my morning routine. Same thing, I usually do this, but if I don't, girlie's not thriving mentally. This is a new one, no phone an hour before bed, to read instead, or do whatever other hobby I want to do. I feel like that will be helpful. Having Sunday as a day to myself, having no work, no schedule full of things that I do not want to do. I just want it to be a day for myself to recharge and just do whatever I want to do. And then the next 3 are all about changing kind of the way I work and my work schedule to free up more time for myself and for me to be less stressed. Basically, that is the whole point of me putting this on here. So I have having set work hours. I also feel like going to a cafe 1 to 2 times a week really, really helps me. I used to do this in Denmark all the time because I had like a cafe that I loved, and that's where I really do a lot of like focused work. And that's usually when I do a lot of things that I've been procrastinating on because I'm already there and I'm like, I want to take advantage, and I just get everything done. I feel like that's also going to help me, and also to have a designated work area. Figure out a nice little system on my desk, have my computer a bit higher so my neck is not hurting, and I feel like that will help as well. What should my main objective be? What do we write? I think just like focusing on being my favorite self. That kind of encompasses everything that I want to say. This is the confusing part to me. Like, do I only have to plug in one of these, or like what is this? I think I'm gonna call my stepdad and figure out. I don't even know if this thing works. Like, it's obviously old. I've never used it. This would be so great if it worked. This will have to do. It's looking very gray and boring. I would love a wooden table, but it'll do for now. The only other like home kind of makeover thing I've got going on is I bought new bedding. I really do like this bedding. Like, this is one that I bought when I started this whole makeover thing. This one's a little bit lighter. You can't really see much of a difference on camera, I'm realizing. But my only other bedding sets that I have are white and also old and like not very nice. So I wanted to buy another one, so whenever this one is in the wash I can put this on. And I want to buy some other like pillows to, you know, make it a little bit more interesting, maybe like a pale pink or like a pale yellow, something a little bit more colorful to add a bit more pizzazz into this room, a bit more color. But my other, this is just one set, I have two obviously. My other one is in my suitcase, which got lost somewhere. I'm assuming in Amsterdam, so I'm hoping I get that so I can like wash these, start using them. But I really like it. It's from Magazine, which is like a Danish brand. They have really nice bedding and it's not that expensive. I also have my dining table right here. That's my bedroom. And I want to make kind of like a gallery wall, just something a bit more personal here. I do kind of like this, honestly, so I think that's staying. And the only kind of two, I guess, posters I have that would go, or artworks that would go with that are these two. But they're a bit smaller, so I feel like if I put them on right now, it's gonna look really awkward. So I think I need some like bigger ones and then I can kind of, you know, put them all together. So that'll have to wait, but I got this photo of my grandparents, which is so sweet. And I'm gonna paste it right now over there, which is where I already have a photo of me and my friend Anya. So that's kind of the only home makeover thing that I can do right now. Obviously I have to buy stuff if I want to like keep it going. So I'll paste this on and that will be a solid start. Okay, the next thing on this to-do list is a work routine plan, which I already made in my journal. This is like going back to the basics, okay? Part one of my work is from 9 a.m. until lunch, because that is when I am my most productive. So these are my main work hours. That is when I will get all the like priority tasks done. That is a non-negotiable. And this is where not filling up my schedule with random things comes into play, because those are going to be my non-negotiable work hours. So I won't be scheduling any kind of appointments or anything like that during that time, which I have been doing all the time. And then it disrupts my like workflow, and then I just completely get out of it and I'm again stressed, not productive, procrastinating, etc. And then part two is, depending on the day, from lunch until the latest 5 p.m. I might be done at 2 or 3, another day might be 5, but 5 is my cut-off time so that I don't work until like midnight in my bed, which is what I've been doing. So that is the main plan, very simple. Another note is to have weekends off. And then when it comes to my videos, like recently it's been so hard for me to just put out a video every week. And it used to be so easy and like not an issue at all, like not stressful, just like I was in a flow, it was all good. So I want to get a week ahead so that when I start a new week, I already have a video ready for that week and I start working on the next one. So get a week ahead of videos. And then I also created a very simple, brief, easy kind of guideline to what I want to do on specific days. And this is again very simple, like I didn't go into detail. And I feel like this will help me to get ahead of the schedule. All my other work tasks, other things I need to do, I'll just fit them in whenever it makes sense. But I wanted to have that like rough kind of guideline. So we can cross that off, work routine plan. And now based on this, especially like my main non-negotiable work time, I will schedule my Pilates for the next week or the next few weeks. I also need to make my nail appointment, like just a bunch of random little appointments. And I will make sure that I schedule them either before my working hours or after. And then I will just put everything in my schedule and then write the overdue to-dos, the things that I've been kind of putting off that I need to find the time for. And then we will schedule that into my weekly plan as well. Alrighty guys, I am so happy that I've completed basically everything that I wanted to do today. I finished my meal plan. I'm definitely going to be like adding to it, adding different recipes that I find, but for now, this is how it's looking. I've got a bunch of recipes like written in here, a bunch of like links to different recipes as well down here also. So I'm really excited to start using this and start cooking more. And then I also did the astrology reading, and I included some photos just to make it a little bit more like visually stimulating. I get that some people are not into astrology and don't believe in it. I fully understand, but I'm not one of those people, okay? Like, if nothing else, this gives me like hope for the future, which has been really necessary for me right now because it's felt like my whole life has fallen apart. So like having an astrologer tell me that, you know, there's so much more to life and so many more things that are waiting for me. Obviously she went more into detail, but it gave me hope and positivity, and that's all I was after. So it's nice to have it all in one place. That is that. I'm so happy. It is way later now. It is 8, no, it's 9. I'm just making dinner. That is not okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is how my life has been recently. Just like no schedule whatsoever, no stability, just like random. But to be fair, today is the last day that I'm going to be living like this because I need to like catch up with work from, you know, my trip. But then starting with tomorrow, I've got a nice little reformer class planned. And then I'll be having a normal work schedule and day. And we'll get started with everything that I laid out today. And I'm really excited. I am also excited because my suitcase has been found. I like my suitcase. So I am very happy about that. And I'm so glad. I was like really worried for a second that it just will never be found, but it's here. All is well in this world. Anyway, I'm gonna finish making this dinner, do some more editing, and then maybe chill out for a few minutes before I go to sleep. But thank you guys so much for joining me and hanging out with me. I hope you had a lovely time, and I really appreciate you sticking around. And I would love to hear your feedback, like what you want to see next. I am kind of blanking on ideas recently, so I'd really appreciate your help. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon.